Hi, this is Jason from Baseball Card Collection. Today, I'm not going to be showing any cards, but I do want to talk to you about something that I think about often. And that is the regret I have from cards that I have sold. I've had many cards throughout my years of collecting that I've accumulated, and some I have sold for various reasons. I keep a spreadsheet. I like to keep track of different things. I do this in all aspects of my life. I keep spreadsheets of my marathons, of my triathlons. At work, I keep forensic level of accounting spreadsheets that I don't need to, but I do. I enjoy it. So the sorting and keeping track of different aspects of my collection is one of the things that I really enjoy. I keep track of when I purchased it, how much I purchased it for. I don't necessarily keep track of where I got it from. To me, that's not as important, but in some cases, I do. And over the years, some of the cards that I've sold, and I look back, and I look back at what I sold them for. I look at what they're selling for today, and I could cry. And part of it is the financial aspect. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. But a big part of it is I can't get these cards back. These are cards that I'm priced out of the market to reaccumulate. I mean, I could maybe get them back at a much lower grade, but at one point I had a card that was really good, and for one reason or the other, I let it go. Sometimes I did it because I was in a situation where I needed the money, and like, all right, well, if that's the case, then that's the case. And other times, I sort of treated this as an investment, which I do at times, because it is, and there is a monetary impact to what we do as a hobby. And I was like, hey, you know what? I got a certain percentage rate of return, and if you look at the stock market or whatever other type of investments you partake in, and you get a certain rate of return, and you're pleased with that, then you take your profits and you call it a day. And I did. And at the time, I thought what I got was a good price. Fast forward to a few years, and now being one of them, I look back, I'm like, oh, I could cringe. So part of my collection now is I just accumulate. I have more, and I don't want to let it go because, one, I don't need to. I mean, if I was in a situation where either I was in a bind or someone in my family was in a bind and it was a necessary thing, okay, well, that's a different story. But the chances are, hopefully I have these for the rest of my life, and then my heirs will do what they will do. We would like to think that they will cherish our collections the way that we do, but that's not realistic. My father, he was a collector of all sorts of things, one of them being trains. I know that there's a value in trains, but I just never took that interest. I never got into that collection. So the collection that he accumulated over his lifetime, it's lost on me. And that probably will happen with my cards. And I can only hope that, whoever gets my collection does their due diligence and doesn't give it away for a song. Or maybe even better, that they will maybe take up the hobby themselves. And by that time, hopefully far, far in the future, they will have quite a collection on their hands. But it's hard to, decide what to do, especially if you're not, a dealer. And I'm not. There's a channel out there where his introduction, he's a collector, investor, dealer in that order. And I could relate to that in a very profound way. Because, my collection, it's there's a big part of me. I talk about it. If someone mentions that they collect baseball cards, my ears perk up and I engage in conversation. But not many people in my circle do. And that's all right. That's all right, because, I have, you guys out there in the community to have these discussions with. So, what I've learned is, buy what you like, hold on to it. If it accumulates in value, great. If it doesn't, all right, well, so be it. And, if you ever sell, try not to look back in regret, because it can make you cringe and cry. All right, that's all for today. Take care.